What's goody in the hoodie, peeps? It is episode 18, the end of season 1. Okay, and I'm gonna take me a very much needed hiatus because I've been busy trying to get these episodes out for y'all and doing art and work and all these other tasks. Okay, what's your love language? Yeah, so my love language is peace, naps, which ties into peace, and food. Feed me. That mean you love me, right? Now I'm just kidding. Y'all, tonight's episode is about bondage. Now y'all can take that however you want to take that, whether it be spiritual bondage, whether it be the bondage that keeps you tied to another person that doesn't show the same interest in you as you show in them, or whether it be being tied to things in this physical world that you can't take with you when you go. A lot of us are tied down and weighed down by many things. It can be stressful, to say the least, right? And we're going to close out on a good note. It's not going to be a long episode. I just had a list of topics in my notebook, of course, that I didn't stick to, right? And I noticed that season 1 was only supposed to be 15 episodes. But here we are at episode 18. So there can be many things that weigh you down in life, right? Again, it can be unworldly presence that's holding you down, that's keeping you back, that you somehow got from being in the presence of another person, okay? And I'm not going to get too deep on it, but I know that most of us have a lot of things that weigh us down, whether it be bills, whether it be children, spouses. There are a lot of things that can hold you down. Now, I'm not saying hold you back. That's different, right? There's a difference in that. You can be weighed down by the daily task in your life. And, when I was younger, we couldn't really complain about a lot of things because the answer was always, well, that's just life. you know, Especially if you were one of those kids that wanted to grow up, or, your parents felt like you were trying to grow up too fast, right? But a lot of things that you should have learned at that age, right? You didn't necessarily learn until you became an adult. And that could be for many reasons. Maybe you lost your parents at an early age, or, your parents were never in your life. But there's also common sense, right? Some of us is born with it like Maybelline. Some of us would know common sense if it slapped us in the face, right? I always say common sense ain't too common. But in a sense, in its totality, I can't think of anything right now that holds me down, but I digress. As I look back on the last couple of weeks, even though I didn't feel stressed, I was being weighed down by something. Something was causing my stress levels to increase, right? But I was hella stressed for like 2 weeks, and I may very well be stressed. Again, like, my stress is different. Usually I can tell I'm stressed because the main thing that I'm in bondage with is what alerts me to the fact that I'm stressed, right? I like to snack, I like to eat. That's why I work out all the time, because even though I gain weight, I don't want to be big as a house. I don't want to be on my 600 pound life, or what's the other show? Uh, a ton of love, or something. I can't remember the title of it, but usually when I'm stressed, I can tell. I'm not that I'm hungry all the time. I want to eat when I'm not hungry. I eat my feelings, right? And so, what I usually try to do to combat that is to keep something that I can grab within reach that's going to be healthier for me. Now, these last couple of weeks, I wasn't too great at that. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I had a bunch of snacks in the cabinet, and I was grabbing chocolates by the packs. So that was a part of me saying, okay, I might be stressed. For what? For why? I don't know. But that was my bondage in that moment. That's what was holding me down. And it doesn't have to be, like I said, it doesn't have to be anything too serious. But some of us are being held down by people, right? That one person that you can't let go, that one friend that don't know what no means, right? And I talk about that too. Almost, it's almost like it's an addiction. Like, there was this one person I used to tell all the time that I was addicted to, and I probably shouldn't have told them that, but you know what I mean. Like, I'm like, it was almost for me like they couldn't do no wrong, right? And not that they did anything wrong. It just was like, okay, like, I would think to myself, if this person did this tomorrow, like, would I be able to get over it, or would I be able to let that person go, or would I be stuck in the same place at the same time all the damn time, right? And that was my bondage to that person, right? And eventually I had to look at everything in a whole and say, well, I don't know if this is as good for me as I want it to be. And I had to move on. I had to let that person go, right? And the stress that I carried from that wasn't stress that that person put on me. It was just the stress of, all right, so what now? I'm the type of person, I can admit, I don't like change, but I'll deal with it, right? And that comes down to even career choices, right? I may decide that, okay, I really want to do this, but I'm content with where I'm at, right? And the thought of having to relearn something, or change my schedule, or rearrange my life to get to this point of where I want to be. It doesn't mean that I don't want it. It just means that I don't want to leave where I'm at, which now I'm bonded to this place, because I don't want to have to learn something new. I don't want to have to change my schedule. I don't want to have to do this. I don't want to have to do that, right? And some people are in bondage with their cars. They ain't gonna bury that car with you when you go. Like, okay, so what? You hit a deer, and I'm just using that as an example. I ain't fam. I ain't talking to you because my coworker he hit a deer recently, but it was how quick he bounced back from that. Okay, I hit a deer. Car in the shop, right? The car is still his baby, right? But think about it as a person that's so tied to that car. Oh, I hit a deer. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? What am I going to do now? That was my baby. And it was so funny to me because when they repaired his vehicle, they couldn't match all the paint because it's an older model car. And I know a few people that would have lost their mind immediately. Oh my goodness, like they're just so stuck. Like if that car was in a severe accident or more severe accident to where it was 100% damage, they wouldn't. I don't even know if they could get past it or move on. I mean, they would have to because they would need transportation to get back and forth, but that would almost be like grieving for them, right? And as I speak on that, I think about all the things that hold me down, right? I get on a diet, right? Or I wouldn't call it a diet, a lifestyle change. I've been on a lifestyle change since 2015. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down, sometimes I'm real round, okay? But one thing I've told my brain so long, even though I've done it before, but I tell my brain all the time, I can't let go of snacks. Chocolate is where it's at. So much that that's one of my nicknames, right? Like, and realistically, I know if it came down to it, if it was a medical reason or whatever, I know I would have to let it go. I know I can let it go. But because I don't have to right now, I'm like, okay, I really need some chocolate like right now, today. And I'm bonded to that snack, right? But again, that's also one of my love languages. I like to eat. I like to sleep. And I like my peace. I don't want nobody disturbing that, right? But I know there are a lot of people that are just spiritually intertwined with somebody that they know that's no good for them, right? Whether it's a positive or a negative thing. Y'all aren't compatible. Y'all aren't equally yoked. And no matter how much you want it to work, you could put years into it. And once you get to that final straw that breaks the camel back, you're going to realize, okay, I knew this then, but I wanted to do it my way. And I think that's how a lot of us get caught up in that bondage with whatever it is that we're tied to, right? We know it's not good for us. I know I done had cavities. I get cavities. I don't have any right now, but I got a lot of feelings due to cavities because I know that chocolate ain't good for me, but I love it, baby. Right? And I always joke, like, that's my drug choice. I'm addicted to chocolate, right? I'm bonded to chocolate. Nowadays, more like I'm bonded to the bed because I like to nap, but you get where I'm going with it, right? And I'm also bonded to a lot of projects. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm bonded to this podcast because I thought this was gonna be a Big Bang Theory, like, close out celebration. Like, I was gonna have some confetti to toss, like all of that. But it got here so quick. It's so fast, right? But what are you in bondage with, right? If you had to be realistic today, I know I asked what was your love language earlier. That was just like the little segue. It wasn't as funny as I thought it was gonna be. I was gonna say, what's your love language, and then pretend to talk about the other kind of bondage. When you're talking about BDSM, okay, I'm talking about bondage, right? But yeah, what is something that holds you down, not hold you back? You know that it holds you down, weighs you down. It's an anchor to your ankle, right? That you just feel like you can't let go. What's keeping you in bondage? That's it. That's all. I told y'all it wasn't going to be a long episode. I just wanted to make sure I got the last episode out and not prolong it, so I can take my break and come back to y'all refreshed, renewed, and ready to go for season 2. I think, I hope that I can pick it back up in April. I only have one prior engagement in the first week of March, but I'm going to take March to like, I mean, I'm still going to be doing other things, but I'm going to take March to be the break in between the season, right? And I haven't decided how far I'm going to go with this podcast. I just like having this bit of therapy to get the voices out of my head, so to speak. So if I think about anything else, I'll add to this, but I doubt it. Tonight's about bondage. What are you tied to that you definitely can let go? And I want to end it with Anthony Hamilton. I can't let go, but I can't remember the words. So yeah. All right then, bye. Peace.